This is going to be on the podcast, by the way.
Who?
I'm going to embarrass the heck out of you, the two of you.
Why? I didn't do anything.
Okay,
Yeah, she's in charge of the edit, so we need to be very respectful because she can make us look real bad.
Hey, you make you guys look bad.
Watch how you talk to me.
Okay.
All right.
Are we ready?
Don't look me in the eye.
Oh my God. Okay. No, first of all, what is it is there something that you specifically want to talk about, that you want to say? So can we just like pick your brain about stuff?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Is there something you want to talk about?
Well, I think that, truthfully, all jokes aside, I think Todd represents a very big percentage of automotive dealers. When I say that, guys that he knows what's down the pike, what's here, what's coming. Like he knows, he gets it. Todd gets it. Like does not necessarily know how to implement it yet.
Yes, next.
That he gets it, like from the social and the digital marketing side. But underneath the group, one of the things that like a guy like Todd has to deal with is that there's a lot of people who have to kind of be on board.
Yeah.
Unless your last name's Thompson, you don't just make a decision and everybody follows. If your name's Todd, you have an idea, you roll it out to a group in that position.
Well, we're kind of like on that fringe of guys who got into the business about the same time. And we remember what it was like when we were calling from 3x5 cards. Correct. And now look where we're at, right?
Correct. I think maybe from a challenge standpoint, a little bit of the corporate guys that are in a group, right? I think that would be good. From a who he is standpoint, that's up to him. I mean, how personal he wants to get or whatever. What do you want her to refer your role as? Managing partner?
Yeah, that, vice president of operations, either.
Okay.
Okay. You guys know
that's a mouthful, though.
This is totally going to be the intro of the show, by the way.
So, the girl from last night that you...
Hey!
What?
Professional.
How do you know what I was saying? The girl last night that you interviewed about the job.
Way, unless this girl is like 10 years old, it's probably a woman. So
that's true.
Right there, first sentence.
Not girl, woman.
So the broad you were talking
to.
I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Sky Blue Credit Repair. Sky Blue's the oldest credit repair company in the country. They have 4.5-star reviews. And my favorite part about the company is that these are just genuinely good people who want to help you repair your credit, have a better financial life and future. Everybody at Sky Blue that you talk to is absolutely interested in helping you repair your credit, see your score go up, and have you enjoy financial freedom and be able to live the life that you really deserve. I know about all of the other credit repair companies. Sky Blue Credit Repair, in my opinion, is the #1 credit repair company in the country. There are not better people in that industry than the people over at Sky Blue Credit. Links in the bio. Tell them the GOAT sent you.
Welcome to the Everyone Hates Salesman podcast. We're here to prove it.
It'd be cool if our host knew the name of the podcast. It's Everyone Hates Car Salesman. This is my partner, Ina, the podcast producer and director, by the way.
And this is Sean, my partner, and I still don't know what he does other than being a pretty face.
It's what it is.
So, welcome to, what's the name of the podcast?
What are we doing right now?
The
Everyone Hates Car Salesman podcast.
Car Salesman podcast.
You got it.
Hi, I'm Ina, and this is Sean.
Hello, I am Sean, aka Goat for Real. You know who I am. Anyhow, I am Ina's partner on this podcast, and I am just happy to be here and look like this.
All right. Today we have Todd Mullen from the Montrose group. Hi, Todd.
How you doing?
Very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
To break up whatever this is.
Yeah, some mess.
Some mess. Okay. Can you please tell everybody who you are, what you do, where you're working right now?
My name is Todd Mullen. I'm the Vice President of Operations, one of the managing partners for Montrose Auto Group. I oversee several of the stores, handle most of the operations throughout the group in the business, right?
How do you guys know each other?
So Todd and I met, I don't know how I do know how we originally met. I was at that point, I think it was, I think it started with a 2, like 2000s.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that I walked into your store that you were running at the time, or as a sales manager, I was wholesaling. I was taking a little while I was wholesaling, and I met you at, what was the group? One of the first groups that you were with.
Junction Auto Sales?
No, after that.
Great Lakes.
Yes, was it Great Lakes? And I think that's where we met. As I walked in and we kind of connected, and then I don't know. You know, in the car business, it's funny. It's like a fraternity. It's like it is. It's like a fraternity, and when you find, you know, you find people that you just are like-minded, or you just kind of understand that you're both cut from the same cloth, whether it's era and how you were trained or how you view the business, you know, business practices and ethics. I just remember connecting with them, and we kind of just always like stayed in touch throughout the years, truthfully.
How did you, like, what was your role walking into that dealership? Were you?
I think at that point, I think I was wholesaling, like buying cars at dealer A, selling it to dealer B. I would do that in between, you know, if I would, you know, had left a job or was waiting on something, I would wholesale, because it's an easy way for guys like Todd and I to generate income while you're like in between jobs in the car business. You can jump in the car and go see your buddies and say, hey, do you have anything you want to sell me? They say yes. You call your other buddy and say, hey, I have this. Do you want to buy it? And you can make a little money in between. There's guys that are millionaires today from just doing that. So that was my role. He was running the store and in charge of the inventory that he could or couldn't wholesale.
What do you remember from meeting Sean? Do you guys have any stories?
Well, when I'd see him coming, usually I'd hide in the bathroom.
That sounds like a very healthy response to Sean
kidding.
coming through the
Yeah.
door.
You know, and
Yeah.
no, honestly,
Yeah.
you know what's weird is if anybody who's from the Cleveland market, there's like this dividing line right down the middle of Cleveland, and you're typically either known as an East Sider or a West Sider, and
Yeah.
it feels like everybody you know is from one side, and
Yeah.
you don't know anybody from the other side. It's the weirdest thing. Don't you think? Do you
No,
agree with that?
100%. I mean, there's guys that literally work 10 minutes from here in big positions that I don't know because he's an East Sider. Or Akron. Akron's like its own, where this store is, the Montrose. This is like HQ for the Montrose Auto Group, which is a very well-known big group here in Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. But it's in Akron. So people literally 15 minutes way up in Cleveland, it's not always a thought like, hey, we should go to Montrose, even though they're one of the biggest volume dealers that you can get a great deal from. They are in Cleveland, so they think about the store there. So Cleveland's very, that's a good point. It's broken up into segments, East Side, West Side, and then you have Akron, which is South.
Yeah. But we've known each other for a long time, stayed in touch.
Yep.
Our paths crossed all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like every so often, even if it was just phone calls to say, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? What do you need? Vice versa. Like if I needed to pick his brain about something, I could pick up the phone and we pick up right where we left off, even if we didn't talk for 6 months. So it's been cool. And I think that's a lot of people
It is
in this business.
And the car business is so weird, Todd, where you come in contact with so many people, and then so when you find somebody that you gel with or vibe with, you tend to hold on to that somehow and make sure you stay in touch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of friendships in the car business that start that way, and they for years just occasionally talk, but you're my people. You know what I mean? And I'm your people, so let's just stay in touch. And so that's kind of how it started.
Can you tell everybody a little bit of like exactly what your role entails? What do you do here at the dealership?
Man, you know, I get asked this a lot, and everybody has a title, right? But it doesn't really matter. Like my day consists of, first of all, going into whichever store I want to start at and just really diving in to see exactly where they're at financially, what their days look like, what their week has looked like up to this point, whether it be sales or service, a little bit of everything, right? Like looking at the financials and making sure things are in line and where they're supposed to be. But then it turns into complete chaos, right? Like there's no day that you can plan for in a car business. There isn't one. I haven't had one yet. I come in and instantly start putting out fires, right? There's always a little fire here or there. And so I'll do a little bit of everything. Whether it's have a big meeting, whether it's meet with general managers or sales managers or finance managers or a group of salespeople, or there's days where I'm in the back washing a car for a customer because there's nobody else around to do it, right? Like it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's the culture we try to have is just, it doesn't matter what your title is, doesn't matter what you do, you just pitch in and help out to take care of every single customer. Like that's our focus all the time is just taking care of people.
I think that comes from the top down. I'm sorry, but from Mike. I mean, so tell us a little bit about Mike Sr.
Wow.
The founder.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a really intense, great guy. He's almost a visionary in this business. You know him really
100%.
well. He's a guy that he's been doing this for a very, very long time. He's in his mid-70s now, and he sees things in the market before we do. And he can call them out. And I can't tell you how many times he's right when he goes, hey, you know what, 6 months from now, this is what things are going to look like. And sometimes I think to myself, like, is that even possible?
Right.
And sure enough,
Right.
that's exactly the way it plays out. And
I mean, he started in the 60s, right? I mean, it was in the 60s or 70s when he got his first store, the Chrysler store up in Brunswick, right? Okay, yeah.
And he's amazing. He still crafts deals. He loves it. He loves acquisitions. He loves adding to the group. And he's awesome to work for. And he's a veteran. I'm a veteran, and he really, truly cares about veterans and first responders. Like, that's his mission in life, is to take care of people.
Yeah.
He loves that. He's very passionate about it. You know, everybody has their thing that they're really into. That's him, right? He went through some things, right?
Yeah.
He's a Vietnam veteran, and he appreciates it, and he appreciates the people. In fact, we have a crazy number, I don't know what the number is right now, but a crazy number of veterans that work for the company. Anytime somebody applies for a job here and they're a veteran, they instantly get looked at a little bit harder, right? If we can find an opportunity in a space in our company, we make sure that happens. But he's a great dude, great dude.
What do you think would be something that surprises the public about the involvement of the owner in the dealership? Like, I wouldn't think about it. I'd be like, oh, the owner is probably out in a private jet going to the next private island, right?
For sure.
Depends on the day. Yeah, depends on the day.
The right day, that might be true. But really, it's work, right? Like, everybody comes in with the same intention every day, and we talk about it all the time. Mike will call me multiple times a day and say, hey, how are we doing today? How many cars do we have sold? How many people have come into service? Like, he's intense. He wants to know that about every one of his stores. And it's a constant conversation. As big as things can get, and we have big picture conversations all the time, we have really granular conversations too. We're like digging into the nuts and bolts of it on a regular basis.
And he's involved.
Very involved.
To your question, to expound on it a little bit, I think what would be surprising when you pull up to this facility, you assume, right, somebody owns it somewhere and they live, on an island. Mike's office is right there, and he's in it every day. I mean, not all day, every day, but the guy's right there. And one of the cool things that I think Mike probably understood very early on, and I think a lot of dealers struggle with, and, can go backwards business-wise, is you get to a point where you feel like, all right, I'm the dealer now, so I don't have to do that. I got people that do that, and I got people that do that, and I got people that do that. And you take your hands off the wheel a little bit, and it can go sideways very quickly. So being a car dealer isn't about like you own a software company. You start a software, it gets automated and all that, and you move on to the next one until you exit it, like hypothetically. The car dealership is, you have a job. Like, it is still, you have a job every day. Mike has a job every day, and I don't think people realize, at this group at least, how on hands a guy like him is. And then he's got his son. How old's Johnny? Johnny's
41, 42.
Yeah, and so he's passing it on to his son, John, JT, and same. He's a mini me, same dude. Work at the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something that I think is super unfair. Again, I've only been in the car business for like 6 months, and the only dealership owners that I have met have been people who are incredibly loyal. They have a huge work ethic, and they're there seriously to make life better for everybody who works under them. And what I think is super unfair is I post a video talking about a particular car salesman, and I just get flooded with comments from people saying, oh, car salesman, like, I had a bad experience, that's sleazy. And I'm like, if you were to meet the people that I have met, like, you would know a completely different story.
But that's our fault though, right? I mean, let's be honest, like, for the most part, early on, years ago, when I say our fault, I mean, as an industry, we created that atmosphere
100%.
Because of the way that we approached it. Yeah. It is so much more professional now than it's ever been. It's incredible. I don't, when I talk to young people, and young people are considering their first position after college or after school or whatever it is, the idea of getting into this business, I think, is incredible.
Me too.
It offers so much. And years ago, when we first got into it, it wasn't quite like that, right?
No.
It was our predecessors really made this what it was for a very long
Yeah.
time, and there was
agree.
some negativity to
Oh,
it,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
People dreaded it.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. We recently acquired a powersports store, so we sell ATVs, motorcycles, side by sides, personal watercraft, cool
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
And it's given me a really cool perspective on what this should be, right? That business is so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
There's this really kind of fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where people walk in and we're laughing and having a good time, and you're really enjoying the experience, right? People are taking pictures and it's exciting.
Yeah.
And then you go over to the car dealership and it's so what's the word I'm looking for?
Stuffy,
Just,
like they're immediately like it's a whole different vibe from the customer side too. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a different,
If we could find a way to just make it fun again.
Yeah.
If we could just find a way that when a customer walks in the door, they feel comfortable and relaxed. I think it's improved with the amount of information that's available to them. Would you say?
Absolutely, because I think that's where it comes from, Todd. Is he and I talk about this all the time on a business level. It's the not knowing that makes you anxious and uncomfortable, right? So as a customer, you come in, you don't know that this is a guy who served his company, has a family, and just wants to win. And you don't know that. You see him walking. He's a car guy. He's got the thing on. He's trying to rip me off. That's the stigma. Right. You know what I mean? So social media, I think, has been the biggest opener to letting people see, wow, these are just like regular dudes. They just happen to love cars, and they're good at it and communicating. And so I think social media has played a big part in helping the stigma. Matter of fact, I know it has. But that's right, the power sport thing, and that's exciting that you guys have that now. I can't wait to get out there. And but that's a want purchase, right? Mm-hmm. That's you don't
need that to get back and forth to work.
Right, exactly. And the power sports industry didn't spend 50 years lying and ripping people off like our predecessors did, that we're trying to repair now. That doesn't have that stigma. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's different, and that's a great way to look at it, Todd. If you could take what's in that showroom and make it and drop it into the car business, that would be awesome.
Yeah. What do you think needs to be said to the customers so that they understand that, the vibe is different now? Like if you could tell them right now before they walk in, right? Like I want to picture you like right outside the door, somebody's coming in. What would you have to tell them so that they walk in and feel a little bit more comfortable with the process?
Just that, right? And we have to continue to preach it because it's not going to happen overnight. Mm-hmm. We have to continue to approach this differently, right? We have to utilize social media to get it out there, to get people more comfortable with dealing with salespeople. We have to continue to try to make it fun every single time. And when we do have that situation pop up and it is fun and light and a customer has a great experience, we need to make sure we capitalize on it, capture it, and make sure everybody else sees it, right? Yeah. We're not very good at promoting ourselves like that. We love to do the traditional promotion of the car business, right? Yeah. But we don't do the outside the box stuff, the social media side very well yet.
And we're getting there. And that's what I was kind of before when we were starting, that Todd's one of those guys who's in that space where he knows we need to start showing people this stuff, that people have a blast when they come here and that they leave and it is a good deal. Every deal isn't a bad deal and I got ripped off and you ripped my trade. That's not every deal. Most deals are they're leaving happy. They got more for their trade than it's probably worth because he wants the deal more. He doesn't want the other guy to get it. So he's doing that. He's discounting the car to make the customer happy, whether it's to, match what the internet said they should buy it for, whatever they use as a guide. Most of the time we're doing as close to exactly what the customer wants to happen, truthfully, within reason. And it usually is a good experience, but you don't get those. People don't want to talk about those. All they want to talk about is the bad experiences. And like I said, it's deserved, but the change has been drastic.
Yeah, and it's just a work in progress, right? Yeah, so like if a customer comes in, a customer obviously wants as much as they can possibly get for the trade, and they want to pay the least amount for the car you're buying, right? So or the car you're selling them. It's okay, but it's really hard to do those two things and make it make sense for the company and for the customer.
For sure.
So we get close. We get close to that, and as long as everybody understands that, hey, if we work through the process together and we communicate well and we stay open and transparent, we'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. We're just having conversations, right? If we're open and honest with each other, the customer and the sales team, it'll work out, and it doesn't have to be a horrible experience. It's a necessary thing. It's a
Absolutely.
need. Cars are a need, and as long as that's the case, it's going to be stressful, right? Especially
it is. But I think customers need to know too, Todd, that it's to the point now where, let's say it's 50-50. 50% of the dealerships have an amazing culture. They're customer centric, right? Profits secondary. And the other 50 maybe are still places where you could go and have an experience like we're talking about. If you're a client out there, if you're a customer and you're in the market, go to find a place like this where they do care. It is different. The leadership is from a different culture. So today, if you get ripped off or have a bad experience at a dealership, in my mind, and customers don't want to hear it, and I don't care, it's your fault. Because between the internet and all the information that you can get to educate yourself, and your ability to shop around on social and see who are good people and who you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, if you still get a bad deal and get ripped off, that's your fault. Like, all you gotta do is a little research, and you can find a guide like that and have a great experience. But you choose to go to the place right down the street because it's closest, and that's where your dad bought his cars, and that's where his dad bought. And you go there, and maybe they're not, with it. So you keep having these experiences.
Yeah, if I could tell customers to do one thing when they come into a dealership, is just be open, right? Like, be transparent on your end, and you'll be amazed at how much easier it is throughout the process and on the dealership side.
Yeah.
I used to ask my buddies all the time when I first got into business, like, what do you think we make when we sell a car?
Right.
Like, I'm just curious. What do people think?
It's a good question. Yeah.
And the numbers that they would say were
astounding. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys make $10,000, $15,000 on a car. Yeah. I'm like, I would have my own island by now. I've sold a lot of cars, right? So,
yeah, unfortunately, there's a little thing called competition.
Yeah.
Where the guy down the street will sell cheaper, and there's also a little thing called the lender that won't let you sell it for that much money.
For sure. And so I tell people all the time, if you truly believe that that's what a dealership makes, you could literally walk in a dealership, pay exactly what they ask you to pay, and take exactly what they tell you your trade's worth, and you're not even close to that. So if you're worried about somebody making $10,000 on you, you don't have to worry about it. You could walk in and do it in 5 minutes, and they're going to make far less than that.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. And there's one thing actually that I heard in one of your videos.
Yeah. That
you were explaining to people that I don't know why profit is such a bad thing. Like, consumers think that, you're making $20,000 on a car, when something that you explained I thought was brilliant. It's like, you know that when we get a new trade-in and we want to resell it, we have to pay for that car to be inspected and for that car to be cleaned and to do all of these things to be able to sell that car. So there's all of these costs. I'm only talking about the trade-in that I want to resell as a used car. Right. So I can't give you the car at cost. Right? If I did that, then this wouldn't be a business, right? It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that businesses need to make money in order to survive and stay out there.
Right.
But every consumer is walking in thinking like, I want the dealership to make as little money as possible, right? And I'm here like, everybody knows how businesses work, right? So I think it's kind of like that education too, that you're not making $10,000 on a car, but like, I think the consumers need to educate themselves on the fact that, for this business to run, there is going to be a bit of a profit margin. Otherwise, how do you pay employees and everything else you need to do?
Yeah, let's
like,
be
why
honest.
Is that bad?
And I don't blame the customer for not caring. I don't blame them for not caring.
Not their job, right?
It's not their job. I don't blame them for not caring whether or not we make money.
Right.
Because I've had people, well, I don't care. Don't make any money on me. Make more on that guy.
Right.
Right. Like they want somebody else to pay their difference.
Right.
And which I get. Right. Everybody's out to make sure that they can take care of themselves the best way they possibly can. But I do think that if you have good conversation from the beginning, right? If your managers are involved with your customers and they're talking to customers and things are very open and honest, customers for the most part are pretty cool, right? We focus as much as we think the customer focuses on the negative, right? Don't we tend to also,
100%,
right?
Yes.
Like we don't.
It goes both ways.
We don't talk about the 10 customers that we had that loved the experience and things went well. We talk about that one guy that came in with really horrible expectations and wanted $5,000 more than his car was ever going to be worth, and pay half for ours, right? Like that's the one we focus on. So there's work to be done on both sides.
So can I ask you something? That this is gold. This is information I wish I had like when I started marketing social media to dealerships. I wish I were sitting like across somebody from you to ask you, why is it that dealerships, for the most part, don't prioritize that social media part? And what made the Montrose group in particular say, yes, this is something we really want to put our chips in, and really want to get our salespeople trained and educated on how to do this and send our brand out there completely for free, because everybody has a phone and they can just do it. What makes you guys special and different from the dealerships who are like, this is just not something we prioritize?
I'll start with the first part of it. I think the reason dealerships don't do it is because there's a lot of guys, either Sean and I's generation still running dealerships, or guys that are even older, and they just don't have any idea, right? They don't understand it. They're not comfortable with it. They don't think that's what's important. They still think that we should be doing things the way we did things 10, 12, 15 years ago, right? So they don't embrace it.
Right.
What's different for us, honestly, what started this whole conversation was him, right? Like John and I know him, and all of a sudden we're watching him and we're seeing the kind of success he's having on the social media side. And we're like, this is kind of crazy. Why aren't we involved in this? Why aren't we doing this more, right? Like, why aren't we making it more fun? And there is this, not gonna lie, there's this part of this from the dealer, the owner side of it, where we sit back and we go, ooh, that's a little too edgy for us, right? Like we struggle with it. Like some of my salespeople have made some videos, and I hear them and I hear what's said and I go, ooh, God, he said that out loud, and I have to like check myself a little bit, right? And I have to like hold back and go, okay.
Yeah, those guardrails.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I think that's how we got into it. We went, you know what? We see it coming. We don't want to be on the backside of it. We don't want to be the last to get involved. We want to be the first ones to get involved. We want to embrace this. And how many times have you told me that social media is free?
Oh, is it free?
I heard it's free.
I heard it's free. Did I tell you about that? They just changed it. Yeah, it used to not be, but it is now.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but dealers don't like paying for
They
advertising.
love free.
Yeah,
but you gotta, so you put yourself in a guy like Mike Thompson Sr.'s shoes, okay? He's amassed, let's call it a fortune, whatever you want to call it, right? And he did it through the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. That's when he made the majority of his money, and he did it with certain methods. So when you become a wealthy person using a certain business model and that works for you for so long, it's very hard to give up and go, I'm going to forfeit what I did that made me successful and try something new. Why don't I just stick to this because it's worked for? So it's not an easy thing. And when you're talking about social media, like Todd's saying, you want to, as an owner of a company, you want to control the narrative that's in the public about your company. If you tell a kid, pick up your phone and make a video, guess what? Guess who's not in control, right? Because that's his personal account. You have nothing to say about what he posts on his personal account. So literally you're like, take care of my company, I think, hopefully, please. I mean, it's a scary thing as a business owner. This big, say the wrong thing. I mean, lawsuits when you're dealing with big groups have 7 digits, not 3 or 4 or 5. You know what I mean? So as an owner, that's how you kind of, I think, and Mike is lucky to have a younger son who has a business partner in the same, who both kind of get it. You know what I mean?
You know what's cool about Mike though? Literally this morning in a meeting, we're talking about what we want the business to look like moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. And there's 4 of us in this room. There's 4 people sitting around this little wooden table, and we're talking about what we want it to look like.
Yeah.
And to hear him say social media has to be a big part of what we do moving forward is really kind of cool. He's 70 some years old.
Credit to him.
He's been around for a very long time. For sure he is. And then yesterday, or was it the day before, he actually sent me a TikTok.
No.
T did?
Yeah. Oh, and then Chris Mills did also.
Sorry. So, I know. I mean, that's that. Well, first of all, it makes me so excited to know that, like, that's happening. Like, but as a guy who knows those 2 people, that is, I would never have believed that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. So it's fun. It's honestly, it's.
Was it of me?
It was not. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. Anyways, next question.
So the next question is, and this is just to help people out there who are listening, because you guys are clearly going to be leading the way on social media. We came in and trained your guys, group of 15, 20 salespeople. And one of the videos that Sean helped create
Mhm.
with one of your creators,
Yeah.
the next day had 2 million views.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, it had 4 million views. Right now, it's nearing 5 million views.
Very
right?
close to 5.
And that was a concept that like we created like right there in
yeah.
the workshop.
Yeah.
So like clearly you guys are doing something right. You're investing in the right places. So to help everybody out there who is listening to this and they're like, well, this is just not something that I've really been thinking about, but maybe you're making me think that it should be. What is the best way for them to go and find somebody to help them? Like, you know, we are here, clearly. Like Sean and Nina are here ready to train anybody all around the country. But if there's a dealership listening, like, maybe I'd like to find somebody local, or like how do you even get started in wanting to do more with social media? Like, what would be step one?
Step
Good
one,
question.
I mean, it's going to sound really basic. Just do it, right? Just get involved. But I do think it's important to have somebody guide you, right? Like you guys coming in and giving us the assistance you gave us was paramount for us to kind of take off.
Yeah,
I don't think we
jump
would
off point.
I don't think we would have done it.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the level where we have, right?
Yeah.
Like I think, what do we have? 14, 15 people
Your
now in the
people are
group
doing good.
who
Yeah.
are,
I mean,
who
especially
are,
at his store, he's got people doing good.
Yeah.
they're doing it daily,
Yeah.
right? They're really getting involved. Sometimes they have some success, sometimes it flops,
Right.
but they're consistently doing it. I don't think we would have done. I don't think any dealership is going to do it on their own very well.
Right.
They can try it. You'll have some individuals who do it well,
Correct.
who are used to being on the platforms, who just happen to get in the car business and they were just really good in front of camera. But I think it's really important as a dealership. Preferably, I'd like none of my competitors to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
all right, so nobody else in the competitor area should do this at all.
Right.
But everybody else get some help.
For sure.
Like step one, start. Step two, if you really want to do this, go and get some help.
And it's this generation, right? Like I was at the coffee shop. No shit. Am I allowed to say shit?
Yeah, this is not for kids.
It's
not suitable for work.
kids.
Not suitable for work.
No, like on YouTube it says like kids are not kids.
Yeah. This
It's
legit not for kids.
So I'm at the coffee shop. Coolest
Yeah.
little coffee shop in the whole world. If you ever go to Jefferson, Ohio, which you probably won't.
We might.
I mean, I
Great
hear it's
coffee shop.
great, but no.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
awesome.
Okay.
I'll go.
Coffee shop
We're
in
going.
Jefferson,
You wanna
Ohio.
go?
Jefferson,
Yeah,
Ohio.
we're going.
Okay.
So I'm in this coffee shop and I'm getting it Wall Street coffee. I should tell it.
Wall
But
Street coffee.
I'm in this coffee shop.
Affiliate deal.
Affiliate deal.
Send him his check.
We'll have the link below.
I'm waiting to place my order, and I look at the end. There's a girl at the end waiting for her drink order to come up. Just out in the open with a million people around. She's got her camera up, and she's taking pictures of herself, and she's posing. I'm thinking to myself, she is so comfortable.
Yeah.
So comfortable doing that
Yeah.
amongst all these people. Like,
Yeah.
she could have been in a room all by herself.
Right.
Right? Like,
yeah.
and that was kind of like that moment for me where I was like, wow, this is a different generation.
This is it. This is where we're at.
This is a different generation. Like, nobody in my age group would ever stand
Get beat up
in the public
Yeah.
and take pictures of
Of
themselves,
yourself.
right? Like they wouldn't, but I watch my daughter do it,
Yeah.
right? Like it's kind of wild.
It's
and
crazy.
And those are the people that are going to be buying cars.
100%.
Are buying cars.
100%.
So why in the world would we not embrace that? Why would we not get involved with that? Like, come in, I'll take a selfie with you, right? Like you buy a car, we'll
That's
get
a
a
great way
selfie
to look
together,
at it,
right? Like, but it's wild to see it like out in the public, in action, right? Like
yes.
There's an account that I think everybody needs to follow called the Influencers in the Wild.
Oh, I bet it's amazing.
Amazing. It's like people recording
Why
other
am I not
people
on
doing
there?
that.
Are they going to call me?
I mean, well, people have to catch you doing things.
Why not? I
in
need
public.
them to call me.
You need them to.
Yeah,
Okay.
just let them know. Thanks.
We'll put that down there too. Okay. But no, Influencers in the Wild. That's gonna show you. It's amazing.
I bet.
I love it.
To see it live is just like, wow, this person is so comfortable with themselves. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not that confident where I could just.
It's an
get
acquired
away with
taste. I mean, you have to get used to it, right?
Yeah. The way that I kind of figure, because I've been in digital media for 7 years. This has been like my full-time job. It's like online marketing, and it's marketing my own stuff. So I've been on branding photo shoots in public in different countries, and I have to let go of people watching me and just like, okay, I'm just gonna get the best picture ever,
Right.
and I can't care that person is staring at me or that they pulled out their phone to record me. Like, I just have to do this. So whenever you see anybody like you really start to see TikToks in a completely different lens now. Like when you look at them and you see that it's in public,
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not just them and the phone.
Yeah.
It's like there are people around watching, and
right.
they have to let go
Right.
of all of that.
Right.
So that's just something I like you build with time, just realizing I'm never going to see that person again,
Yeah.
but I can
Yeah.
reuse this content forever. And I have amazing pictures completely in public. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I love my picture. I don't even remember what was happening. that
Yeah.
day.
And
So you
you're
just
never
get
going to
used
see
it.
that person again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
who
sure.
cares?
You just get used to it. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
coming
Thanks, bro.
and gabbing with
Thank you.
us.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Is there anything you would like everybody to know? Come to Montrose. Where do they find you?
Yeah, for sure. I traditionally am at either our Chevy store or Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store or our powersports store. But I'm floating around. You can always ask for myself. They'll find me. Or John, JT, our heir apparent. He's an amazing guy. He's going to take this group to new heights. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yep.
He's doing a great job. We're all lucky to have him. So I visit any of our stores. Our stores are.
And the ones
a
you
trained
oversee
order.
are, can you name them?
Oh gosh, we've got
Can you name them all?
Montrose
I know.
Ford. We've got Montrose Ford. We've got Montrose Kia.
Okay.
We've got Montrose Jaguar Land Rover Volvo.
Yeah.
We've got Montrose Chevy GMC, Montrose Nissan, Montrose Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and then Montrose Powersports.
Those are the Ohio and there's and
One in
Hermitage,
Pennsylvania.
right? And we don't have stores in Florida anymore, do they? Okay, gotcha. So
and
it's
then we
just
have
Northeast.
several collision centers in the area. So if you ever need body
Gotcha.
work.
And I'm just gonna say, like, for anybody watching this who wants a dealership that's gonna treat them well, that has that new culture, right? Not the old stuff that we're like trying
Yeah.
to fight right
Right.
now, then Montrose is just a really good group too.
Yeah.
work with.
Easy to work with, right?
Yeah.
We're not the only one, but we're definitely one that can,
Yeah.
can take care of you.
Thank you, Todd.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Sky Blue Credit Repair. Sky Blue's the oldest credit repair company in the country. They have 4.5-star reviews, and my favorite part about the company is that these are just genuinely good people who want to help you repair your credit, have a better financial life and future. Everybody at Sky Blue that you talk to is absolutely interested in helping you repair your credit, see your score go up, and have you enjoy financial freedom and be able to live the life that you really deserve. I know about all of the other credit repair companies. Sky Blue Credit Repair, in my opinion, is the #1 credit repair company in the country. There are not better people in that industry than the people over at Sky Blue Credit. Links in the bio. Tell them the GOAT sent you.